Welcome to eLuketronica, a celebration of all things retro gaming. My name's Lucas and I'm back with a brand new retro Let's Play, and today, and over the course of several videos, I'm going to be blasting my way through Super Mario World, probably the greatest Super Nintendo game ever made. And believe it or not, as much as I love this game, I never believed that moniker. I used to think, Super Mario World, why are people still saying this is the best Super Nintendo game ever? And I couldn't quite wrap my head around it, and I'll tell you for why, because after the 16-bit era came the 64-bit era in terms of the Nintendo 64. Well, not just that, but obviously the 32-bit era. Anyway, my family had both. We had the PlayStation with the N64, and I played Mario 64, and this is probably going to get me a lot of hate, but I really don't like that game at all. I don't know, I just can't take to it. So when people say that Mario 64 is the greatest game of all time on the N64, I can't agree with them. You know, I just don't like it. It sort of put me off Mario. And then, anyway, coming back to my point, I really love top 10 lists, so I was looking at what are the top 10, you know, greatest Super Nintendo games of all time, and Mario World was number one, and I'm like, oh, come on. You know, it's a bit overrated, but I was proven wrong because I played through the game, and you know what? It is the greatest game ever for the Super Nintendo. It is number one. It just takes me back to my happy place when I was a kid, and I had so much fun, and yeah, it's well worth that number one spot. Anyway, sorry for rambling on. Before I start the video, I just want to say, if you're new to my YouTube channel and like what you see, then why not hit that red subscribe button? Subscribe to eLuketronica, it's absolutely free. I'm very laid back and friendly. You can like a video if you enjoy it. You can comment and we can chat about the good old days. I'd really love to hear from you. You can share this video around as well. So let's get started, and we'll start a new file because I've been practicing on file A. So here we go. Poor old Mario is stuck in Dinosaur Land, and he has to rescue Princess Toadstool, who is missing again. I think Liam Neeson would probably be a better hero for this job because she seems to go missing quite a lot. It says, looks like Bowser is at it again. So we're going to start off in Yoshi's Island 1, or Yoshi's Island I should say. I've always said Yoshi. Some people say Yoshi. I say Yoshi, but what a great first level. I get killed straight away. Naturally, I get killed straight away. It's just, oh dear. Let's try that again. Here we go. So yeah, loving it, absolutely loving it. And one thing I love about this game is it's so damn rewarding. You're rewarded every step of the way. It's just like the perfect video game. And I never thought I'd be one of those people to say, oh, this is the greatest game ever, because I always like to think of everything as, you know, equal. I never want to say that anything's terribly bad, or, you know, without a good reason. For example, Mario 64, it is a good game in the respect that it's 3D, and I guess it does something different, but maybe it's because I played a lot of 2D Mario. Maybe that's why I couldn't take to it. It just didn't do anything for me. But then again, I felt the same about Mario Kart 64, and my opinion on that has slightly changed. I don't really think it's a great game. I think it's a good game, but it doesn't seem to have the punch and bite of the original Mario Kart. Controversial, I know, but that's just how we roll on this channel. So I just couldn't take to it, and I tried, my god I tried, but no, it's just, I guess because I've had the 16-bit consoles for so long, and I just couldn't kind of let go, if that makes sense. And what with everything now, the way the world is, streaming's sort of changed everything, the way we buy games has changed everything. 70 quid for a game, and you're not even getting the full game, as Dave Perry, the game channel, said, brought up a good point. And you know, I've never really been much of a modern gamer, and that's not to say there aren't good games out there. There are, there really are. I think the most modern game I've ever played, and it's probably old to you guys, is Life is Strange. I really enjoyed those games because it was laid back, it was fun. I was really getting into it. It's quite emotional games. I love the whole rewind time aspect. But anyway, we found the yellow switch palace straight away, so let's turn on all the yellow blocks, and we'll hopefully try and pick up some lives as well. So yeah, I'll be interested to know what you guys deem as the best Super Nintendo game of all time. There's lots to choose from, you know what I mean? But yeah, Mario World, number one for me on all counts. You know, and that's a pretty bold statement from me. I think part of the reason is I played this when I was a kid, but I never really owned it. My friend Matthew Loughlin back in the day. I was 8 years old, maybe 9. Or even 10. I went round to his house and he had a Super Nintendo. He's one of those kids that, you know, you go round to your friend's house, all of a sudden they've got new consoles, and you're like, how the hell does his parents afford that? He had a Super Nintendo, he had Commodore 64, he had everything. But anyway, he had Mario World, and I was playing it and I was really getting into it, but it's like I could only spend 2 hours at his house before his mother sort of, you know, like says, you've got to go home now. Not that I was any trouble, but it was just her rules, and I was just like, oh man, I really don't want to go home. So I was pretty pissed off. I was walking home, you know, as kids do, thinking, oh man, I really wish I had that system, I really wish I had that game. But anyway, fast forward a few years, and I'm at a community centre with another friend I met, Lenny. We were troublemakers basically. We never really went to school, so, you know, so I spent a lot of time at a community centre doing my tuition, and he had a Super Nintendo, and every day, I kid you not, I'd be down at his house and we'd be playing Mario World all day, Mario Kart, we'd play all the games. So I got my Super Nintendo fix there very, very early, so that's probably one of the reasons why I love this game. So it's kind of like getting your hit of that favourite drug, I suppose. Not that I'm into that, but you know what I mean, the same analogy, where it's like I got my hit every single friggin' day, and eventually when we got a Super Nintendo at home, I remember for my birthday I asked for Mario Kart and Mario World, and I got those games, and my god, just my life changed. Just absolutely love those games. And then obviously as my taste grew and as I got older, I started to appreciate different games. We never really got a lot of games, I will say. My brother, who I credit to me being a YouTuber to this day, because he was the one who, when he was still living at home, would buy games and systems. He just, I don't know, he just loved buying games and systems, and he'd buy anything he could get his hands on. So he actually brought, I think he brought Pilot Wings, and he brought Link to the Past, Zelda, he brought Killer Instinct, Urban Strike. He just brought all these frigging games, and then before we know it, he brought a Sega Saturn, he had Command and Conquer. So, you know, Chris, my brother, was, and you know, such a dude. He's no idea how his influence, and you know, I think it's due to him. That's why I'm doing retro game today, because he spent all that time and money on video games and consoles. You know, and he just, and I've got total love and respect for him. So I remember as well, it was my birthday. I think I was either 14 or 15, something like that. But he's like, I'm going to take you out to Shrewsbury for your birthday. And he took me out to Shrewsbury. He says, what game do you want? I says, oh, can I have Rage Racer? It was originally going to be Tekken, because we had a PlayStation. And for some reason, the disc got scratched. I've no idea how. But anyway, I changed my mind, said, can I get Rage Racer? So he brought me Rage Racer. And he says, oh, you've got to have something else. I'm like, really? He's like, yeah. I was like, oh, cool. He's like, what do you want? And then I picked up, I think it was one of the Urban Strike? One of the Strike games, Jungle Strike for the Game Boy, I think it was, if I recall correctly. So, you know, he unwittingly, you know, opened that door, which was closed for a long time, because I'd see consoles on Games Master and games, and I just wanted to be part of the scene, and it's thanks to him I actually felt part of the scene. You know, I remember when we got the PlayStation, we had Tekken, Crash Bandicoot and Destruction Derby, which were great titles to begin with. I couldn't really get on with Crash Bandicoot at first. Now I absolutely love it, but again, it's that thing of letting go of 2D. Letting go of what you've known, and we had Tekken, but then I saw Tekken 2 advertised, and I really wanted Tekken 2. I wanted that game so badly. I didn't say I wanted it, but it was like, oh my god, will I ever get to play this game? Then my brother come home with it, like, I was like, shit, Tekken 2, and my life was just Tekken, basically. So yeah. But Mario World, oh my god, incredible. I just remember as a little kid with my friend, we'd make a cup of tea and we'd go to Aldi. And this was back when prices were really, really low, and we'd buy biscuits every day. We'd have a cup of tea and some biscuits, and, you know, he'd make us what you call a bacon sizzle sandwich, which was basically, I think it was like corned beef or something like that. but you know, he'd make us sandwiches, and although we were troublemakers, I have to say he's the best friend I ever had, and I do miss him to this day. Wherever you are, Lenny, you were amazing. Thank you for letting me come round and just playing your Super Nintendo, because that too was a great influence on me. And basically, all I've ever wanted to do in life is just play video games, and now I do. So I do YouTube, so it's my dreams come true, really. I mean, I get to talk about these games, and you know, I feel like the luckiest person in the world, you know, doing YouTube, being able to do this, because when I was a kid, as most kids do, I had a lot of imagination. I used to make up my own radio shows and take my own voice and do all kinds of stuff like that. And I really wanted kind of my own show or something like that, or some kind of outlet. But back in those days, so I grew up in the 80s and 90s, the internet didn't exist. There was no internet. So all you could do was like watch comedy shows and emulate that. So I did that quite a lot. Right, so I made it to Iggy's castle now. I'm going off on this retro tangent here. Right, so I need to defeat Iggy Cooper, don't I? So I'm going to go through the castle. And I remember Matthew, my first friend, showing me this trick. He says, oh, you want to just, like, you can knock the Coopers off if you do that. And I'm like, that's so cool. Like, I just wanted to play this game over and over. And his mum was like, you've got to go home now. I'm like, oh, you. All right, then. But then again, we had the NES, so we didn't have, it's not like we had nothing, but I just felt like, as a kid, we should have really had the Mega Drive, I think, earlier. We got, like, the Nintendo Entertainment System, which was fine, it did its job. But then, we got a Master System as well, so that was good. And I had a Game Boy for the longest time, so I probably have quite a massive knowledge of Game Boy titles, because I would go to the swap shop almost every day and just swap a game, or I'd complete the game I'd get a game, I'd swap it, and then I'd play that game, I'd complete it, I'd take it back, and I'd swap it for something else. That was just the rhythm of how I kind of did things back then. So I played a lot of rubbish. I played a lot of good games, and I didn't know what I had at the time as well. So I had Metroid 2 for a while, and I had no idea that it was a really, really top tier game, because I was so young, I didn't understand it. I played everything from, is it Load Runner? I had that, and I thought, Jesus, what a pile of rubbish that was. But yeah, even with a lot of games, I spent a lot, because that's just what I had to do, because I couldn't afford to go out and buy full price games. Couldn't do it, so that was the best alternative. So in many ways, it was like the swap shop guy was like my drug dealer. Anyway, we made it to Donut Plains 1 now, and this is where Mario can fly. This is the big reveal. This is like the ultimate power-up in the game, you know, which was such a cool move by Nintendo to include it. I remember trying to do this for the first time. I couldn't do it to save my life. I still can't really properly. Oh god. I think I might have messed this up, I don't know. But yeah, as you can see, rewards. You're rewarded every time you do something in this game. It's so cool. He says as he fails to get even a single extra life. Oh well, that happens sometimes. I actually had a good run on this the other day. I was able to get like 4 lives. I've never been able to do that before. So it definitely is just like the luck of the draw. Oh, fucking hell. Man, it's tough. But yeah, Mario World has secret levels, secret worlds, there's so much to discover, and it's just like a really good feel-good game. Right, there we are, so we've unlocked the secret now. So even the secret levels have secrets as well on this game, which is awesome. Right, Donut Secret 1. And we're underwater, so yeah, there's a secret here somewhere that I will need to find. I will need to figure this out, so we should be fine. We got Yoshi with us, so that'll give us some protection against everything we're going to face. Pick up the fire flower. But yeah, I mean, like, Mario World is an evergreen game in that you can play it over and over again, and it'll still do its job, because it's one of those games where it's just brilliant. You know, just can't get enough of it. A bit like Donkey Kong Country 2, and it's a hard one for me because Donkey Kong Country 2 at one time was, for me, the best game I've ever played. It's a toss-up between Donkey Kong Country 2 or Mario World, but I would have to say Mario World, because it's so difficult, because I suppose because I played that first. Donkey Kong Country 2 is fantastic. I think it's wonderful. A lot of people don't like that game though. They prefer the first one. I'm thinking, how can you... The first one's good. I'm not saying it's not good, but it's more just it does its job. It's a platform game, and the graphics are incredible and all that. But once you complete it, and you can find all the secrets, and that's great, and everything's really cryptic. But the second game, just, you know, you got Dixie Kong, and Dixie Kong is just incredible. You know, what she can do with her hair and things, and I'm thinking, my god, and the music and the graphics are just much better and pushed a lot more than normal. So I wanted that game as a kid, but where's a little kid going to get 50 quid from? I wish I'd have been more innovative, really. I wish I'd have kind of like wheeled and dealed or done something. I mean, the best I could do, I saved up for weeks, and it took me weeks to save up for it, because I didn't get much what they call pocket money back in those days. Nowadays, it's just like kids are giving like far more than I ever got. It used to be 20p, or it could sort of graduate to £1 when I got older, so yeah. Or £2 every day, I think, when I was like 15. So I had to save up, and I saved up, and I saved up, and I'm not proud of this, but I actually took some money from my parents, and I'm not advocating that, but I even traded in a copy of SimCity, so yeah, I was no wrong. I was so wrong, and I paid it back anyway, in many ways, you know. So my brother still doesn't know, but I've paid him back tenfold, because I just needed to have that game. I needed to have Donkey Kong Land 2. I just needed it on the Game Boy, because it was the closest I could get to Country, and I couldn't afford Country. And maybe I could have saved up for Country if I'd have been a bit more, I don't know, like if I thought about it more. But all I could think of in my young brain was, I need to get this game. I have to play it. Like, I need Donkey Kong Land, because it's the equivalent of having it on the Super Nintendo. So I got it, and trust me, I got my fix of that, you know. So yeah, I don't advocate stealing money. Don't do that, folks. Save up. Mind you, with the pocket money kids get nowadays, like, affording games probably isn't as taxing as it used to be. Anyway, we've uncovered a secret here, and we've made it to Donut Secret 2. Now this is a very, very tricky level. Always remember having problems with this one, because it's slippery, and you've got lots of little... I think this is the one with the spiky creatures in it as well. So we're going to go up here, and we're going to do all this. So yeah, gaming is just amazing, isn't it? Retro gaming, I just love it so much. Yeah, we all talk about the good old days, and there's a real camaraderie as well with a lot of people I speak to about the games we used to play. And I really, really love sharing stories or inspiring other people to try different titles. I love doing that. It's my favourite thing to do when someone says, oh, because my friend on YouTube, oh god, he was like, he loves to ski, but he can't ski anymore, and he saw me playing, oh, what was it? Namco, oh god, is it Alpine Racer 3 or something like that? I was playing that, and he was like, oh my god, he said, I've got to get this game, and he was so inspired because he'd seen me play it, and I'm like, he said, and he was like, thank you so much. I goes, what for? He says, oh, you know, because I want to go skiing, and I can't anymore, and this gives me the feeling that I'm actually skiing, so if I can make somebody happy, then that makes me happy, really. There we go, we just completed the secret level. But that's the great thing about Mario World, you can go anywhere on this game, you can have it exactly your own way, and it's fun. You don't have to kind of take one route, there's multiple routes. That's the thing is, because I will probably be doing a review on this game, and one of the things I want to kind of do is I don't want to, what's the word? I don't want to kind of tell you guys what you already know about the game, because we all know it's a good game. So I want to kind of do like a perspective through my lens, what it means to me personally. You know, I'll probably put a few of what makes it great, because we all know it's a great game.